my name is Belinda. I'm a digital strategist with MSNL Singapore, and basically, my job revolves around digital PR. So I deal a lot with the digital sites for my clients on how to help them engage with the consumers and also other businesses on social media channels and platforms. I think Asia is slow, we're catching up, but a lot of the examples and the footsteps that we are taking, obviously we're taking a lot of references from States, Northern America as well as Europe. So there are a lot of Asian companies, I would say, especially SMEs. They are not so open to trying out, and because of especially in a country like Singapore where budgets are a lot smaller due to a smaller market share, so there is a limit on what we can do, because what a lot of people don't understand is that firstly, if they outsource social media, it's not something that's cheap. Secondly, if they want to do it internally, it will probably change the entire business structure and framework, and a lot of companies, especially in Asia, are not prepared to do that, because a lot of Asian companies are a lot more sales focused and not so focused on brand equity, whereas as compared to Europe and Northern America, there's a lot more focus on brand equity. And in the end, social media's I would think end destination and end objective will be brand equity, because when you try to build advocacy with your fans, with the consumers, what you're trying to build is a form of loyalty towards your brand, and a channel for direct response where you can do away with whatever market research, and it becomes a way that you not only on a day-to-day basis engage with them, talk to them, you understand what's wrong with the products, where to improve, and then you can lead your business directions and your product innovations according to that feedback. Yeah, you need to still establish a certain set of ROIs and KPIs for your short-term games, because X number of money involved, invested, you need to be answerable to whoever is up there, right? So lead generation, I would think, will be your short-term gains. End of the day, you will want it to be converted into sales, and social media, yes, it can help do that. So what then happened to that sales? You do not want your customers to be a one-off, right? So it has to be a cycle of before, during, and after, where you use the social media as a way to get your consumers interested, and then they go down to point of sale, and then you engage them thereafter. So what do you do with after you bought the product, or after you have made your purchase? You don't throw your consumers aside. So what happens to advertising and what happens to traditional sales is that the consumers stop at that point of purchase. That means the brand no longer engages with them. So what social media helps is to continuously engage your consumer even after they have bought the product, and that will build brand advocacy, builds brand equity. So in the end, you have the short-term gains. You need that to justify whatever dollars and cents that's being invested, and then you want the long-term gains. Everyone wants to be an Apple in the end, where they don't have to spend a single cent and able to market the product, because there's such a huge brand fans advocacy out there. Yeah. Basically, when we talk about social media, it has not changed anything. It is an added channel that is an addition to the marketing mix that is existing. That's all. It's just like before there was TV, there was radio, and then before there was radio, there was print. So basically, the marketing mix just gets more and more vibrant with a lot more different channels that you can pack on and you can piggyback on. So social media has never changed communications. It has added one more channel in the way people communicate with each other, and probably maybe in terms of tonality and the way you talk to each other, but humans' desires to communicate has never changed. That is why social media evolved, because when the media is in the middle, people find that there's a wall, there's a barrier to communications, and that is why social media evolved. But in terms of marketing, I don't think it has changed anything. So I think that advertising is still as important. I think that traditional PR is still as important, because everything you do needs to be integrated. I think a lot of people are just trying to save their asses because they don't get into trouble. So if they are venturing into waters that they are not familiar with, they don't want to say the wrong things. That is a problem with a lot of people. But let's put it this way: when you write a script or an ad lib for a radio ad, you will not be using the same script for a TV ad. And whatever you do for the TV ad will not be the same script or the same copy that you write for a print ad. So it is just the same concept. So whatever you say on social media and how you craft your messages will not be the same as you would do for the other channels. So obviously when you are writing to a print ad, you do not know who are your audience. You have like, yeah, I'm covering 200,000 impressions, that's about it. But when you're talking to someone on social media, I think you must first understand that it is a direct communication with someone. So you're always talking to a face. And with that in mind, you will want to be a person as well. You have to be humanized. So I think marketers will just have to learn the hard way. Okay. If you like get into enough trouble, you will know what is the right way to go about doing it. And I think the last point is that they must be in that circle themselves. So if they are not already active in that circle, they will not know how people talk on that platform. So they will first have to be on it to know exactly how it works. That's how it is. I think there will be differences, especially cultural differences. Right. And I think that Asia is a lot more complicated than, actually it would be an unsafe sentence to say that way, because Europe there's very diverse cultures as well. But I think Asia is a lot more different because not only in terms of cultures but language, consumer behaviors, trends. So I think especially when we have like China will be very different from the rest of like Southeast Asia. So I think in terms of rules of engagement, the humanizing part, the personalized part is the same. But I think in terms of we need to be a lot more sensitive when we are using language and when we are making references to certain events. I think in Asia you've got to be a lot more sensitive because of the diverse cultures and religions. Yeah.